Wendy, what's going on with Jack Sprague and that team?
A gutsy move by our leader and his crew chief, Tony. Tony, why did you decide to stay out when we saw Kyle Busch come down pit road?
It's a tough decision no matter what you do right here. I think our best chance of winning the race is staying out, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, they're going for broke here in the 60 pit.
Fortunately for him, we've got 7 other trucks that stayed out. The top 8 stayed on the racetrack. Ray?
Well, Todd Cleaver wanted to pit, and his crew chief Mike Beam said, no, we're rolling the dice here. If we get 7 or 8 guys that stay out there, no way they're going to come up here and catch through all of us. So that is their strategy, as we will restart here on 127. Is that correct, guys? They decided staying out might be their best bet.
Okay, and I think that's a good call, considering he got the help he was looking for. You know, he did what he thought he had to do to win the race, the 60 truck, by staying out. And then luckily for him, 7 other guys stayed out with him. But when they get to turn 1 with a single file restart, I hope we can get a camera on Kyle Busch. He's got Chris Wimmer and Terry Cook right in front of him, then David Starr. Then he starts working on the top 5. He could be in the top 5 before he gets back here.
And remember, on new tires, he can probably run wide open here. Jack Sprague and those other trucks that stayed on the racetrack will not be able to do that. You mentioned he may be well inside the top 5 by the time they get back around here to complete 1 lap.
1 lap, and I don't think he can catch the 60, but he can get to second easy enough. But the 60 doesn't have any traffic. You watch him when he gets to this first turn. He's going to go where there ain't. That's what I like about Atlanta. You can go where they're not.
Well, remember, at the start of this race, Kyle Busch started 5th. At the end of 1 lap, he was leading.
Well, you just watch this.
Green flag flies. Here we go.
He got a great
laps
start.
of racing to go.
That was one of them. Now he's going after Terry Cook on the inside. Again, he's going to hold it down. He's going to hold that truck wide open. He drives by Terry Cook. Now he's going to look to the outside of the 75 of David Starr.
There he goes around
Busch.
Starr.
Not a lot of room. He gets very close to the wall as he goes down the backstretch. Ricky Craven just in front of him.
Here comes Bobby Labonte and Bobby Hamilton right behind him. They're cutting a trail to the front.
And look at the closing rate. Kyle Busch goes by Todd Cleaver. As they go by the tri-oval, Kyle Busch in 4th position.
I'm telling you, he's got 2 laps to go. He's not that far behind. I think Kyle Busch is going to win this race.
He beat him a second that lap. Over a second, Phil, coming through traffic. He outrun the leader. Now he's driving around Tom Bodine for 3rd. He might be leading by the time they take the white.
As you mentioned, he's got fresh tires. He can go where they're not.
And he is wide open. Some of these guys having to feather the accelerator as they come by the start-finish line. 1 lap of racing to go. Jack Sprague just in front of Johnny Benson, and Kyle Busch has moved to 3rd.
He needs to get one of them this corner, and then he needs to get our leader, Jack Sprague, the next corner. I think he's going to do it.
On the bottom of the racetrack, Kyle Busch able to hug the white line as he goes through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, Jack Sprague will try to block. Can he block Kyle Busch? Kyle Busch looks high. They go through 3 and 4. Here comes Jack Sprague up high, and here comes Johnny Benson. Benson's going to slide out of 4th. Sprague's going to slide out of 4th, and Kyle Busch is going to win this race.
What kind of finishes can we have here?
Bobby Labonte got hit hard by the 50 truck.
And then the 75 came along, but what amazing finishes we've had here at Atlanta.
Almost coming out of 4. They were 4 wide. Johnny Benson got loose. He started to spin. Jack Sprague got loose. He started to spin. Kyle Busch drives right by. We see Bobby Labonte climbing out of that 47. A very good sight to see him able to get out under his own power.
Great to see Bobby's limping a little bit. He took an awfully hard shot right there. Awfully glad to see Bobby out of that truck.
Now, I told you it all was gonna get crazy at the end. We can't help it. It always happens here in Atlanta.
It doesn't get a whole lot crazier than that, I don't think. Kyle Busch did have time. Those fresh tires allowed him to pass all 8 trucks. He wins this race.
Look when he ran his fastest lap of the race, Phil.
The next to the last lap.
Passing trucks.
Unofficial results have Kyle Busch up on top. Here we see the race. Jack Sprague getting sideways. Johnny Benson getting sideways. Bobby Labonte involved in it. Todd Bodine comes through unscathed. Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine come across from 1st and 2nd.
Kyle hit the wall. He hit the wall trying to get by Jack Sprague. Jack moved up the racetrack. Kyle Busch wins this race on a tremendous drive over the last 2 laps. Let's take a look at it again. Watch. He's going to hit the wall, trying to give Jack Sprague some room. Bobby Labonte makes contact with Jack Sprague. Johnny goes through the infield. Here comes Todd on the racetrack. Todd finishes. I'm not sure because The start-finish line goes all the way from the outside wall to the inside wall. So Johnny crossed the start-finish line in the grass. They've moved him up to second.
And the last time we saw someone slide across the start-finish line in second, it was Mike Skinner, and he finished second to Bobby Hamilton. And there you see Kyle Busch celebrating win number 3 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 15 starts for that young man, and he's asking for the checkered flag.
Well, he deserves that checkered flag. What a great gutsy call by Richie Waters, though, and that entire crew. And having a good pit stop, too.
Another great call by Richie Waters. He had trucks coming with him to the front, Phil, but the track position that he got off pit road enabled him to get there first.
Well, folks, Kyle Busch was told, you need to get to victory lane. Well, Kyle Busch wanted that checkered flag a little bit more, and so he decided to stop underneath the flag stand. Well, Wayne Auten, the series director, said, I'd like to see you after this race. Kyle Busch coming home. Winner in Atlanta.
Oh, that's insult to injury there.
Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series post-race show is presented by Craftsman. Wendy.
Get ready.
Can we push him back just a tad?
Kyle Busch climbs out of the 15 truck driven for Billy Blue Motorsports. He walks over the bed to congratulate. Oh, and he jumps on his crew. First it was Lowe's Motor Speedway. Second it was Dover. And now his third victory of the season in the Truck Series comes right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle, did you ever think that those last 6 laps were going to end? Did you know you had enough power to make it back up front?
I didn't think I was going to have enough to get back up front, no. But, you know, Jack Sprague raced me really clean there in the beginning part of that run. And I want to thank him for that, but I'm damn sure not going to thank him for the end of that finish there. That was more or less a Rowdy Burns from Days of Thunder or something like that running me up in the fence. But he was trying to go for the win, but he knew he wasn't going to get it, and I don't know why he tore up our perfectly good truck. We're taking to Texas next week, so we're going to fix it, and we're going to get him that back right there.
Talk about more about that finish. What else went on? Was it just you and Sprague getting together? It was pretty wild with everyone out there.
It was, but it was overall. I mean, I thought those long green runs were pretty awesome. Everybody did a great job out there. Mike Skinner and I, we had a battle there in the beginning. That was fun. I mean, that was a blast driving with Mike Skinner there in the beginning. And, you know, I just want to thank Chevy Silverado, Earl Smalls, Harley Davidson, and Crud Cutters, Land Liquidators from eBay, everybody that's been involved this whole weekend to make it possible for us in Billy Blue Motorsports.
You only had 3 green flag laps on those tires. Did you think Richie made a bad call at first?
Actually, Richie was right there with me on the call, and I says, you know what, we're going to come down and get tires. I don't care where we finish. And I knew we were going to have a good shot to win the thing. I pulled low, pretending I was going to go to the bottom side of Jack there, getting into 3, and he went low, tried to keep it down there, got real loose, started skating up the racetrack, and then he just drove into us up the racetrack. But by then it was too late for me to cut down back underneath him and make the pass, you know, stick that way. So I just had to keep my foot in it and go to the outside. I never lifted coming up out of there. I mean, we hit the fence full bore, and I just stayed in it, hoping that nobody was going to pass me on my inside.
Congratulations to you. His 3rd win and only his 8th start this season, Ray.
Well, Wendy, Todd Bodine has a pair of wins this year on mile-and-a-half tracks, a 2nd place today, but we saw you slam into the wall. How in the world did you bring this thing home 2nd?
Lucky, I guess. I don't know. I got a great crew. This Toyota Tundra team is awesome. Jermaine guys that just work hard, and this is a truck we won at Vegas with, and it was fast again. We missed the setup a little bit and just had the camber wrong on the right front, and that's how we cut that tire down. But the Goodyear tires were great. It's just something we did. You know, I gotta say hey to all the Hillmans at home, Sandy and Mel, and thank the guys here. Cytomax, my Jim, Bosch, Valvoline. Gotta say hi to Ashland Punkin, I love you. And one of the NASCAR officials, Dan, a great guy. Gotta say hi to his daughter, Samantha. Happy birthday, your dad's proud of you. We're proud of this whole team, proud of Toyota Tundra. It was another good day. We survived. You know, I knew when I saw Kyle and Bobby come up through there with them new tires, I said, man, this is going to get interesting. I just pulled over. I let them go. I said, man, there's no way I can race them, hold them back. So let them go and see what happens. And lo and behold, Jack and Johnny both got loose in front of them. You know, Kyle made it around the outside, and I went to the middle, opened up, and there was a hole, and the smoke cleared, and I was 2nd. Got lucky.
It was a wild finish, no doubt about it. Todd Bodine brings his Toyota home 2nd.
The only thing he didn't do was thank the Aaron's Dream Machine.
Well, I'm glad you got that in, Michael.
Thought he could have worked that out.
Let's take a look at the finish of this race. Again, Jack Sprague in the number 60 on the inside. Kyle Busch in the number 50 going on the high side. This is through 3 and 4.
This is a situation where Jack Sprague's watching the mirror. He wants to go where Kyle wants to go. He wants to block him. Unfortunately, lost control of his truck, slid up into Kyle, pushed Kyle in the wall, but Kyle, as he said, never let off the throttle, drove it to the start-finish line to get the victory.
We saw the 50 of Todd Cleaver getting into the 47 of Bobby Labonte. Bobby Labonte limping when he got out of his truck. Well, that 50 of Todd Cleaver, it went right up into the wall. The tire was jammed almost back into the cockpit of that truck.
Man, it's a last lap, the last turn. Jack Sprague didn't spin anybody out on purpose. He was just trying to hold a guy off. The guy squeezed in a hole that he didn't think that he could get in, and I think Kyle should be happy he won the race, but he shouldn't be mad at Jack. Jack's just doing all he can to get to the finish.
Kyle would have done the same thing if he was on old tires and Jack came along on fresh tires. Kyle's going to try to keep him behind him. That's what Jack was doing.
He's just wandering up the hill a little bit. A lot.
Then they made a little contact. That's really what looks like it got Jack sideways. Then he makes contact with Bobby Labonte. Bobby makes some pretty hard contact with the outside wall. And then here comes a real shot. You see Todd Cleaver, the 50 truck, the white truck, makes awfully hard contact right in the door of Bobby Labonte. Here comes David Starr. He makes some contact with the front of the 47 of Bobby Labonte.
A lot of trucks involved in this accident. That's why the finish is still unofficial.
I'm seeing Bobby Hamilton coming through here in 7th or 8th. Is this Bobby Hamilton sliding? See if we can look over here in the grass. There goes Johnny
through the grass.
There's somewhere along in here, Bobby Hamilton comes through.
There's a start-finish line right there. There comes Joey Miller, Ricky Craven. There's David Starr, hard contact with the 47 of Bobby Labonte.
I bet you Bobby Labonte was saying, would y'all quit it? There's a wall. And
that wreck just continued. There you see Todd's tire.
There's Bobby Hamilton right there.
That's where
look at
Todd
that tire.
Cleaver's feet are supposed to be.
Look how far towards the firewall that tire.
The results will definitely change. They've got Bobby Hamilton down right now in the 17th spot because he came through in the grass. But he actually finished probably about 8th or 9th, maybe even 7th.
And NASCAR will review the tape here. They have a camera right at the start-finish line on the inside of the racetrack, inside the pit wall, and they will be able to look all the way across to the outside wall, and they'll be able to determine who came across when.
Hamilton's probably going to be about 7th or 8th.
Let's ride along. This is Bobby Labonte in the 47.
Hold your line, low, straight ahead.
There's a wall.
Now listen.
I'll tell you, just about knocks the wind out of you just listening to that.
Me and you especially.
Yeah.
We've felt that. We've felt that pain before.
Here comes David Starr.
Keep coming, stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low. Keep coming, stay low.
Oh, nowhere to go.
Yeah, he wanted to stay low, but it looked like the 38 at Brandon Witt was right beside him, so David didn't have a whole lot of choice. He wanted to get to the start-finish line. Unfortunately, he caught up Bobby Labonte also.
Did you hear his gas pedal there? He was coasting for a minute, but then he saw the start-finish line. He got back on the gas, and then the oil went everywhere. He couldn't even see where he was.
Kyle Busch in victory lane for the 3rd time in 2005.